Centuries ago, before the age of modern science, man invented beer, and things were good. Now, these knuckleheads just sit around and talk about beer on the Portland Beer Club podcast.
How much fun will it be?
It'll be a testing amount of fun because we're going to test things and see how loud and tasty they are with the test.
So far, we're good. Let's see what Marcus has got to say in his microphone. Good job. Perfect
Thank you.
levels. Perfect levels.
No, how's it going now?
It's going good. Let's just roll. Episode 107 of the Portland Beer Club podcast. Your online bottle share. You can contact us at portlandbeerclub@gmail.com. I dare somebody to do it. Y'all bunch of cowards.
Don't do it. You'll become a host, a co-host.
Look what happened to Beef. 1 minute he's a listener, next minute he's on the goddamn show.
Darth Poopatine?
Oh, yeah, we changed our...
Yeah, I can't connect anymore.
Hang on. Well, let me see if I can show you the password.
Yeah, let's definitely read this out over the air. His address is...
While we're doing this, how long, Sean, would Carrie let you go without having a phone? Like, if your phone died, how long would that go for?
We'd be at the store probably the next day, I would imagine.
The next day, not the same day?
Well, it depends what time of day it was, because sometimes stores close.
So,
No.
Verizon isn't open all night. So.
Beef, when did your phone take a dive?
Yesterday evening.
Okay.
It's just been 24 hours now.
And you haven't replaced it yet?
I have not replaced it or gone back and reverted to an old phone because we all have. I'm a millennial and I have an old phone sitting in a drawer. Two of them actually. I couldn't remember which one was my old and which one was my old.
Gotcha.
But hearing that old ringtone.
Beef, do you need the password? Or are you good?
I think I'm all set.
All right.
Why don't you just text it to me?
Oh, God.
Yeah, we'll get it later.
On a non-secured Wi-Fi.
I don't think my wife would let me go a day. She literally gets annoyed at me because I don't pay attention to my phone enough anyways. And I know you guys are also like, I don't reply sometimes for hours because I don't actually look at my phone that often. But she would be...
What are you looking at?
Porn.
Yes, I knew it.
Not on your
Porn
phone,
and beer shirts.
Speaking of which...
Not in that order.
Forgot to tell the audience.
Beer shirts get me hard. What?
I hope this goes to porn.
No, this is a very special episode because on this
It's definitely going to porn.
On this episode, we have all decided to try something a little different, see if we can get a different perspective on beer. So before we hit the record button, we have all disrobed. We are all currently nude. And
yes.
Just seeing if it makes a
well,
difference
first of
on how
all,
the
we
beer
all
tastes.
came here wearing robes.
Well,
which was weird in the first place.
A little warm for a robe, but
let's just
now
say
it makes
you
sense.
did.
I came in a robe.
It sounds really gross.
It's all sticky.
Like a teenager.
It's the silk. It's the 700 thread count. What are you supposed to do?
Now I've got a crunchy robe.
Have you ever felt that against your naked skin? Come on.
Crunchy robe. Isn't that a streaming service?
Oh, crunchyrobe.com.
It's up and coming.
Heyo.
You said coming. Just doesn't end. Well, let's...
So what did we start? Let's talk about this first. Cause,
actually, I need a beer. I need something in my glass.
well, let's talk about what we drank beforehand, because I don't think Three-Way was out yet. Was it last
I couldn't
time?
remember if we talked about it or not.
I don't think
last
we
show.
did.
I don't think we had it yet.
Okay.
It was like right after.
Well, we have had it now, and I've had...
Oh, we have had it.
I think I've gone through at least 3-4 packs just myself.
I've had 2 4-packs.
Yeah.
Plus the one
my
you gave
God.
me.
Yeah.
I just had the one.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't.
You are banished.
I know. I feel like I don't drink enough beer for the show anymore.
It
I'll
is
be honest.
so good. Brewhouse,
It's amazing.
Ghost Town,
It
Fort
is.
George hit a home run with this
Yeah.
one. At least the West Coast version.
I was just gonna go
I
there.
I predicted that it would be hazy because of course it would be hazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Brewhouse. Nope. 100% wrong
Yeah.
on that. It's one of the best West Coast IPAs I've had in
Yeah.
a long time.
I talk a lot about Pallet Jack. I talk a lot about Wanderlust and the Wander Jack combo between the two.
Yeah.
I would take this over those 3 beers any day. It's so good.
What about the other sticky hands variants, like Vortex
I had the
hands
sticky
or-
Vortex and I had the
what was the other
Vortex
one?
hands,
Vortex
and
hands.
they were fine. They weren't this. Yeah. They were fine. They're very drinkable. I'm not
right.
I don't want to poop on them, but when you're holding it up next to this, it's night and day.
It's kind of unfortunate that it came out at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because they are good beers, but
yeah.
this is just outrageous.
That's like when like, hey, we have a huge release of this movie and it's coming out the same week as a new Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
Which, I mean, technically the Star Wars is probably gonna be shit, but
yeah,
it's gonna get the crowds.
yeah, it's definitely gonna steal everything. So, but I was definitely a fan of both the sticky variants, but you just don't want to compete with this.
Yeah.
This is so good.
It is.
We were at New Seasons a couple days ago, and Juan, the beer monger at the Cedar Hills store, who's a great guy. If you ever need beer, go to the Cedar Hills New Seasons, because Juan will set you up, and he's got a lot of stuff in the back he doesn't even put on the shelves that you just got to ask him for. And but he's like, I said, have you had any more of this? He goes, I'm actually waiting for the hazy to come out, so I haven't bought any more. I'm like, poor choice. Because I mean, we've talked about this a million times. Hazies are either really good or they're very average. The fact that Brewhouse is on this will probably be really good.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be better than the West Coast version. There's just no way. No way.
And also last year, the West Coast was miles better than the hazy.
Yeah, given our preferences now,
that too.
It's going to be really hard. I mean, people who love hazy will probably love the hazy more.
Sure.
I mean, we'll talk about this later, but got to go to Brewhouse and tried some of their hazies, and they're fantastic. They're really good.
Oh, yeah, that's on our list.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Well, we can talk about it now.
No, later.
No.
I refuse to talk about it now.
No.
But what I'm saying is, if it's like that,
you didn't look to see what style it was.
No.
If it's like, that,
oh my God,
people who love haze will love that beer.
Yeah,
more than this.
Yeah. Yes.
But I think you and I and Beef, we love West. I mean, I love hazy beer too, but West Coast is still just so much more drinkable.
Right. And Fort George does good hazy, and Brewhouse does amazing hazy. Yeah. I don't know about Ghost Town.
Apparently, Brewhouse does amazing IPA.
Yeah.
I mean, period.
Yeah.
So
true. Yeah.
So let's segue to that, because you and I went to Brewhouse a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Your first visit, my second.
Ooh.
What'd you think?
I had a great time. It was...
All right, next topic, and we're going to talk...
Yep. They have beer. Let's go on.
Was it all IPAs
yes.
and a light lager, or a super hoppy light lager?
It was several West Coast IPAs, a lot of hazy IPAs, and a couple of lagers, and that was it.
Right. It was all hazies when we went, right?
Mostly, I think there was one. There was one
Sean
West Coast that I got when you and I went.
Sean had 2 West Coasts.
Yeah.
And I ordered 2 hazies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when you and I went, they had some other stuff. They had...
There was a hoppy lager that was like a cold.
Yeah,
IPA.
they had a lager, a hoppy lager there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very.
So, Beef, whatever this is you just gave me is delicious. Great Notion Vanilla Zilla.
Vanilla Zilla.
Good Lord, what is this? It's a stout?
It better be.
Imperial stout with coffee, coconut, and vanilla flavor.
Wow, it's really good.
It is good.
Right.
See, Great Notion can definitely put together a non-barrel aged stout that's good. Mm-hmm. One of the few breweries that can do that.
Yeah, it's going to be super sweet, though.
Yeah.
This
it's going
is
to
a
be
pastry.
Big. Yes. Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
It is 11.6%.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the 5 ounces I poured
just
was
to prep
plenty.
you two, I've had 2 beers before you even got to the house. So I have a feeling this might be one of my drunkie shows because I don't have to work tomorrow.
If that's the case. So Brewhouse, the West Coast IPAs you had, the first one was great.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
The second one you had, I didn't like as much, but it was still good.
Yeah.
And then the
when you say I don't like it so much, it's still like a 4.
It's still, you still rated it high. I just mean like it was a 4.5 and like a 4 or 4.25,
right.
something like that. They were both really good. So
yeah.
clearly the man knows hops.
Yep.
At Brewhouse. Yeah. And the hazy that I had, I think it was called Populous or something like that.
Something like that sounds familiar. Yeah.
It was a single hazy IPA. I loved it. It's exactly how I want my hazies to be. It was not overly sweet. It was hop saturated. There was a lot of hop flavor and saturation in that beer, with having nice pillowy like mouthfeel to it, but not sweet. And it was fantastic.
And finished almost.
Was that the
crisp.
Makuto?
It finished a tad bit.
Makuto?
No, that was the other one I did.
Okay.
What was the?
We had a Quattro Jinetes
that was
Mosaic. That was
the first one you had.
Yeah. Then we had the Populous.
Populous. Yeah.
We gave that a 4.25. It's averaging 4.52.
Yeah, I would give that. I would give that a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you get better than that.
And the first one I had was Reap, and I gave it a 4.5.
Reap.
Oh, Reap was the first one. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't. And then the second one I had was the hops themselves were not up my alley. It was more Southern Hemisphere, so I didn't like it quite as much, but it was still well made. So really good hazy IPAs. They're both singles.
Why are Southern
They're
Hemisphere...
like what I make, which it just means it fits what I like to drink.
Right.
Why are Southern Hemisphere hops not as good as Northern?
Because we're from the Northern Hemisphere, and the Northern is better.
Because they have to travel
so this is turf war.
Far.
Yes.
Have you heard of the Silk Road? It takes them months to get here.
No. You got a bunch of inchworms bringing them up?
Are they butt chugging these hops when they ship them up?
The vines, yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely got a butt chug of vine.
I don't know. I think it's just characteristics of that area, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely like this vegetal thing that I don't like as much about those hops. And it was in that beer.
Yeah.
But it was definitely well-made beer. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay.
I remember when I first hearing about Southern Hemisphere hops 15 years ago and thinking,
Sierra Nevada?
There was that, and there was
Were you in the North Pole when you heard about the Southern Hemisphere?
yes, and like 8 Wired is another brewery from, I believe, they're Australia, and a couple of their beers made it over here, and they were really good, like better than any other IPA made in the Midwest at the time, or at least that I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
But that's also 15 years ago, and everything was malty as fuck.
Initially, I really was excited about Southern Hemisphere hops. Galaxy was like one of my favorite hops back in the day.
Motueka.
Yeah, Motueka, I'm not.
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
not my favorite, but yeah, Galaxy.
Rawaka, I was like, ugh, and then and it's just kind of continued since then. So.
Yeah.
Why them Southern hops got all them funny names?
Because they're not from Alabama? I don't know.
Okay. So everybody's got beer in their glass, yes?
Indeed.
All right, I just want to do a little cheers to the memory of Art Lawrence, who passed away literally the day after we recorded the last show.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really address it then. It's been a few weeks, but still, we definitely have to acknowledge the man and the legend who really had such a huge part in Portland and Oregon's craft brew scenes. Helped pass legislation with all the different beer laws, founded the Oregon Brewers Festival, founded the Cascade Barrel House, which initially was the Raccoon Lodge. Had many conversations with him at the Raccoon Lodge. We'd go sit downstairs while he was in the barrel area doing whatever the magic was that he did. He was also a friend of my dad's. My dad knew him back in the day, so just a great loss to the Portland brewing scene, Oregon's brewing scene. So here's to Art. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Prost.
Cheers, Art.
It's a big loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really big loss.
Yeah. Sorry we couldn't address it sooner, but it's kind of old news now, but
So he opened his first brewery in 1986 in Oregon.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's like one of the founders of craft beer in Oregon.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
That's
he
older than I am. That makes you feel old.
was making beer before you were alive.
Yeah. Professionally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
So, speaking of
man.
OBF, it's funny that Art passes away, and then we have the OBF where it's being held. Well, it was held again at the Rose Festival. It's such a small thing now that like they didn't even publish the tap list online. At least I couldn't find it. I was like, well, who's gonna be there? It's like just one row of tents now at OBF. It's like, what happened?
Is it still at the waterfront?
Yeah, during the Rose
Yeah, during
Festival,
the
which I don't understand how that thing died. That was like the second biggest beer festival in the country.
Well, I mean, obviously the pandemic shut it down for a while.
Sure,
but
but
you would think that with travel opened up and people visiting,
Yeah.
maybe it would come back. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like Great American Beer Fest seemed to pick back up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, why not this one?
And yeah,
Right.
OBF was the second biggest.
I believe so. Next to Great American.
Yeah, which is like okay. You would think there would be. I mean, there's got to be obviously there's difficulties, but
yeah, there'd be enough momentum to keep it going. You'd think.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if a lot of the people that were behind it just kind of bowed out. I mean, because our friend Chris no longer worked for it anymore.
Well,
she was a big part of the promotion and helping get that running. And so I just wonder if like enough of the people who really were making it happen just weren't there anymore. So
I think there's a lot of.
It's got to be something like
There
that.
were a lot of people because it was the second biggest beer festival in the country. There were a lot of people that traveled here for it.
Absolutely.
And I'm wondering, just with Portland and its difficulties, if
Yeah.
if that's down, tourism is way down still in
Yeah.
Portland, and maybe
Sure.
they're like, the indicators aren't there to like support a festival of that size.
And I haven't seen the waterfront area,
but I don't know.
So I don't know if it's infested with the whole homeless issue, and I don't know.
Not the couple of times that I've been down there.
I haven't really.
But
looked.
it's spent the night and it's been fine.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's been during events or just like driving past, but
yeah,
it's been fine.
I would think it's fine, but I don't go down there.
We were over in Southeast.
We're part of the problem.
We were over in
There's
Southeast
no festival
Portland the
to go
other
to.
night,
It's not my fault.
and we were kind of near Revolution Hall, and then we went over to I'm sorry, where'd we? I can't remember where we initially went. But we're southeast and we went over to the Rimsky-Korsa Coffee House.
Yes.
You been there? Both of you?
Yeah, I think I've been there with you.
No, I've only been there once, and it was with my sister, and that's who I was with there. With again.
I've been there many times.
Okay, yeah. So we went over there, and it was just walking up to the door was like, I almost didn't want to leave my car.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was so sketchy.
It felt that way 6 years ago. It felt sketchy.
No,
so I can only imagine now.
It
Certainly. I'm sure it hasn't gotten better.
It was rough, and I'm just like, oh my god. I mean, the place was crowded, so they're doing well. We had to wait to get a table, and still pretty delicious.
Did you get a fun table?
No, we didn't
Did
get
you
one of
go
the
when they
fun
moved?
tables.
Yeah.
Nah, we just had a regular table, but our waiter was awesome. He was really funny, and I mean the place was packed. I mean, like I said, we had to wait probably 15 minutes to get our table. And are the fun tables upstairs or are they both downstairs?
They're on the main floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because kind of looking around trying to figure out where are the fun tables. I know they're in
It's
here.
slow. They're subtle. They don't move
They're
that
so
fast.
The tables
subtle.
we had, so ours slid out from the wall.
Yeah.
It was that table. And then I was kind of looking around. All the other tables look like regular folding
They
table.
turn like there's one that turns very
real
slowly.
slow. The other one goes up and down real slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ours, like I said, it was like just like a slab that comes out from the wall and you can push it back in, like for however many people you have. But yeah. Anyways,
My dad got the biggest kick out of the table. I think we got the turning one once. Oh, he was just giggling for an hour. It was hilarious.
you go to get your drink and it's all.
Well, the best is when someone goes to the bathroom, which is also interesting. The bathroom
Yes, it
itself,
is.
but you come back and like your plates have been like moved about 30 degrees, and you're like, "Who's doing this to me?"
Yeah.
Like, I haven't touched it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we started the
where we
night at
left
Well, guess this is
Toji.
my cake now.
Yeah.
We did Korean barbecue at Toji on Hawthorne, and that was fun. I'd never done Korean barbecue before, so that was a
Oh, really?
fun experience. Yeah, we'd never done it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who has Korean barbecue around here.
Oh, somebody in Washington County doing Korean food? Come on, only like 40 options. It's everywhere.
Well,
out
it's
here.
everywhere, but I mean like
good ones. Yeah, because there's Korean
known
restaurants
for.
and there's Korean barbecue, and they're different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, when you're
that's
cooking
what I
at your
mean.
table, and then when you're just ordering. So
Yeah, like skewers and stuff, right? Yeah.
we were
Thin-
getting slabs with big
thin
hunks of meat
slice.
on it. And then
Yeah.
a pair
Oh.
of scissors, and you cut the meat yourself
Oh,
onto
okay.
the onto the grill that's at your table. And so we had pork belly, chicken, and bulgogi, and I think we had like 7 different kinds of meats that we went through, and a whole bunch of vegetables.
Save it.
and
What kind of beer did you have?
I didn't. I did. We did sake and we did
Sorry,
soju.
Jason.
Sake and soju. So, which is very different. I always thought, well, soju is just like a Korean sake. Nope, it's more like vodka.
So how was the chef? Was the
We
chef
were the
good?
chef.
Did you overcook? Did you overcook it?
Well,
Because that's what I would do.
I'm gonna say my sister's not listening to the show, so my sister, who's a control freak, assumed control of everything, and so like, I was trying to.
She fed you?
Baby birded.
I didn't have a complete piece of beef until like.
What does that mean? A complete
'cause
piece?
All I could ever get was raw pieces because every time something would be completely cooked, she'd grab it and either give it to my brother or herself. And I would literally take a piece of beef and like pull it over to the side by me, flip it to let cook one more side. As soon as it's cooked, she'd reach in with her chopsticks and just take it. I'm like, you bitch! I just claimed that. I just turned that. And then she'd take it.
That's why you need a fork. so you can
Flashbacks
stab.
back to like growing
Oh
up.
my god!
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Oh my
sounds
god!
like
I
it.
was so pissed. She did it like 5
All
different
those-
times.
All those Korean barbecues. They
I don't
did
know
at
how
their
much
home.
undercooked pork
That's why
belly
Sean
I
thinks
had
it was
that
the
night.
first time he had Korean barbecue, but really he's had it hundreds of times. Can't remember it.
Anyways, it was fun. It's one of those places like you look at the people in there, and you're like, oh, okay, this has got to be good because there was a lot of Korean people in there.
Right? Yeah, not a lot of white people.
No,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of white people in there. Always a good sign. And just one more thing related to the Art Lawrence thing. Let's jump to this story real quick. I just saw this article today. Apparently, Cascade Brewing is gone.
Came out yesterday.
Cascade Barrel
Yeah,
House.
they shut
gone.
down yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I know they sold it. What was that? A year and a half ago?
Like 4 years ago.
Was that 4 years ago
It
already?
was right before the pandemic.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Purchased by a little brewery out of Lake Oswego, Flybox or something like that.
Flyboy. But there was like 4 partners. Did you? So I read some of this article.
I didn't read it.
So it's weird. So apparently the ownership never transitioned over to them. That they were kind of like leasing to buy type of arrangement. And according to the partners, they never actually obtained ownership of it.
Oh wow!
And Art Lawrence's daughter, who now owns his estate, thought that they owned it, and she's like, "Well, we can't. Like, the estate can't afford to keep Cascade open. We don't have enough money."
And they didn't have the means.
And
to
they
keep
don't
it.
have the ownership of it, and it's like so. There's this like big gray area of who owns Cascade. So for now, they've literally
shut
laid
the
everyone
door.
off, and they've shuttered. Everything's shut down.
So it could come back.
100% dead stop immediately.
Okay, so it's not necessarily dead.
Well, it's likely dead, but
dead.
But right now, it's like nobody knows.
Somebody's got to go in there and save that program. Why wouldn't DeGard come over and take it over?
Take over Cascade?
Yeah.
They don't want to grow.
Why?
They're happy being the size they are.
Why?
At least that's
it's America. You're supposed to grow.
I know.
Infinite growth.
I think as we talked about, like specialized beer is tough right now.
Sure.
It's really competitive, and I think
And it's
DeGard is happy
expensive.
doing their. It's very expensive.
And right
yeah.
now, people can't afford to go out. So.
Yeah, and it's in Portland, so it's super expensive to own those spaces.
Right.
Whereas a building in Tillamook that was an old gas station or fix-it shop is like cheap, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So like that's probably and DeGard beer would be like $20 more a bottle or something if they started doing things in Portland.
Yeah.
Plus they do their whole native yeast and bacteria, and I don't think you want what's flying around Portland to be in your beer.
Nah.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think that I wanted what was floating around
In
Tillamook in
either.
my beer, but
Yeah.
Well, so I mean,
Cow shit.
it
Delicious.
seems
Human
like the
shit,
obvious.
cow shit.
Yeah.
It seems that the obvious move is that some other brewery will acquire that. I mean, it's set up for it, right?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know, but that's a huge closing. Like that's a big
No,
one.
it is. That's
big.
probably the biggest name closure that I can think of. I mean, who would be bigger than that? It's closed in the last 5 years.
Lompoc?
No,
No.
bigger than Cascade. They're famous.
Yeah.
Their trade
Okay,
value.
No,
and
you're
Well,
you're
yeah.
right.
I'll fight you. Jim.
Cascade has international clout. Like people
Yeah.
in Europe know Cascade
Yeah.
beers. It's a big deal. I don't know of a bigger name brewery. I can't think of one. Yeah. I mean Ballast Point.
I was just thinking.
Or are you thinking
local,
just
but-
Oregon?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, it doesn't get much. Like, who
That's
else
pretty
is
big,
even
though.
like bigger than Cascade?
I mean, I guess we could
Oregon,
say
you
like
know?
Bridgeport at one point. I mean,
Maybe
they were
Bridgeport.
pretty big, but
Yeah.
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 Widmer, they're still around.
Yeah, Widmer's
Nobody just
around
buys their
in
beer
name.
anymore.
Yeah.
At least
Right.
here.
Well, when's the last time you bought a Cascade beer?
No, and that was one of the points I wanted to get to is like I'm sitting here, we're talking about how tragic it is, but I'm like, but when's the last time we went? But you think about how many great beers you've had there in the past. Why did we stop going?
Oh, that's fair. I mean, well, so
It's
the
the
last
same
time,
flavors.
I remember the last time we went to Cascade, you and I, was a month before the pandemic. 2 months maybe.
Was that for Vlad?
That was right.
For
That was
Bourbonic?
we went out because that was right after Luna died, my cat.
Okay.
And
Was
we
it
just
Blue Creek season?
we went and
Okay.
had Glue Creek there.
So went for Glue Creek.
Yeah, and we had other things too.
Sure.
But yeah, that was when we checked out Threshold.
Oh, that was that day. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was it? Something grocery.
Yeah. It's
Whatever
now,
that died.
It's
It's
now.
now- yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Grand Fur.
Grand Fur.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was the last time I went, and then after the pandemic, it's like, yeah, I really haven't gone down to Portland all that much since then.
No.
So yeah. I mean, when's the last time I went to even like Great Notion in Alberta? When's the last time you were there?
Oh, it's been at least 2 years, probably more.
Yeah, we used to go down there every month.
Sometimes
least.
weekly.
Yeah,
I think.
sometimes weekly.
Yeah.
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 And we used to go to Rack Lodge quite a bit too. We'd finish a night.
God, that
going
was
out.
for craft beer. That was like my little second home, just because it was close and easy.
Yeah.
You living out here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you.
It was perfect too because you wouldn't ruin your palate for other beers.
Right.
You could finish at Rack Lodge.
Yeah, and
shoot
that
home.
was pre Barrel House, before the Barrel House even opened.
Yeah.
And they had great food, and it was a neat building. You could go sit down in the basement where the brewery was, or you could sit upstairs and watch games on the TVs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a fun spot.
Yeah, and it's gone. I mean, it was gone long
Wow,
ago.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. This is a big name though. Yeah, if Cascade just kind of goes away because Art died, it's like, that's,
yeah. We should do a betting pool of who's gonna buy that.
There must be so much beer stock sitting around. Like they age
That's
beer
what I'm
forever.
thinking,
Like
yeah.
think about remember Ballast Point getting bought and they dumped like thousands of barrels of sour beer and it's just like, no, don't do that. You know.
Well, so who else has done that though, where they've closed but you still kept getting their beers for a while? I mean, Commons. Wasn't Commons coming out for a little bit after they closed?
Commons was bigger than Cascade. That's true.
Commons was
You're
bigger
welcome.
than Cascade?
You're welcome, Chad.
Were they bigger?
No, they weren't. I'm just doing it for
Chad.
I'm just placating Chad.
Which, by the way, I invited Chad to be here tonight, but it was his son's last day of school party tonight. Kind of
/ first day of baseball, something else, season 5.
choice.
Chad said that he vowed that he will be on the July show. So
We got to make sure we
I don't know if
schedule
that-
it so he can't make
On a
it.
really
Call him a
awkward
liar.
day.
make it
Yeah.
on a Tuesday at noon.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, it's like the only time I couldn't make it at Tuesday at noon. By the way, do you know I brewed with Great Notion?
Oh, well,
Yeah, I agree. By the way, this what is this?
Vanilla
Again?
Godzilla.
Vanilla Zilla.
Vanilla Zilla.
That's really good. It's a, I don't know, like a solid 4.25 or something.
Somewhere in between 4 and that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good beer.
Yeah.
How much was this? Do you remember?
I don't.
Where'd you find that?
I
John's?
found that in Seaside at the Wet House.
The Wet House.
What
WHET House.
Oh,
It's about-
yeah, on the
Yeah.
side street, right
Yeah.
off Broadway. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about 6 months old. Tastes great.
Okay, nice.
Oh no, I don't think it's old by any means. It tastes great.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even see a
Yeah,
canning
it's
date on it.
just visible right there.
Reminder for all our listeners: if you want to go help support a good cause and go to probably the second best beer festival in the whole state, Brews for New Avenues has tickets on sale now at newavenues.org. Go get your tickets and support them. As I said, it goes to a great cause, one I'm very familiar with and that I work with. And 2, it is really a great beer festival. It's a lot of fun. They put on a good time, and there's a lot of great beer there. So
Get all hopped up on goose and make poor decisions.
yeah, newavenues.org. Go check them
The
out.
good news is that your poor decisions will probably result in helping out homeless kids.
Yep.
True.
Yep, and all the other resources they provide for our youth.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, and other beer news. We talked about the Bend Brew Fest being the next big thing,
Yeah.
like last month or something. Canceled.
Gone.
They killed it like a few days ago or a week ago.
For
whatever.
why?
Said they couldn't pull it together even after all the things. Like they wanted it at the amphitheater or whatever, right? They wanted
right.
it in that spot, and they got it this year, and then said they couldn't make it happen for some reason. So yeah, it's all of a sudden. So there's no festivals beyond
Jesus,
brews.
there's no
in
big
the near
festivals.
term that I'm
We're in
aware
the
of.
middle of
There-
Portland Beer Week.
I mean, I'm
as we
sure there's other
speak.
festivals, but
Yeah. We're in the middle of Portland Beer Week as we speak, so I'm not going to really promote it because by the time this airs, it'll be done. But yeah, I mean, what beer festivals really are left?
there's got to be a bunch of them, but
I mean,
we don't really.
Zoo Brew, Brew Lights.
Well, we can talk about that.
You guys shit about them, but that
Let's
that
talk
was-
about 'em.
That was good.
And when I say let's talk
You were
about them, I
there.
mean, good luck.
Me?
You go
I
talk
need
about
another
'em.
beer. I'm going to pour something.
Do you want? Okay.
I'm gonna do it in a mystery beer. I'm gonna get my mystery
Yeah.
beer.
Last weekend, 2 weekends ago, went to Zoo Brew on a Friday night, and it was really fun. But it was very spread out. There were only two tap handles per.
What do you mean
per-
by spread out? Like, what is?
across the entire zoo?
Wow. Okay.
So like there were like 3 or 4. The only place that there were like that I waited in a line of more than 2 people was at the very front at the very beginning when you just see a tent and you're like, ooh, I need a beer.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, before I start my walk. And having done Brew Lights, I was like, no, we're skipping this.
You're moving on.
We're moving on. And
Yeah.
there was nobody in the back half for at least an hour.
Sure.
I just chugged 3-way. That's basically all I did.
Yeah,
all I drank.
you said you had Thrice-Way there,
Yeah.
that's pretty great.
Yeah, 3-way was there. Bale-Breaker was there. Great Notion was there.
What else about that is beyond having beer at the zoo? What else is going on there that is like an attraction or why you're there?
There's some live music and there's a DJ in another spot, but it was just a cool atmosphere. laid back, and
it's outdoors and kind of fun that way.
Yeah, and it was a really nice Friday night, and it seemed like most people, like, it wasn't beer nerds that went there just like running to the Great Notion tent and running to the three-way tent. Sure. It was just people that
regular beer people.
Yeah, or like zoo people even. Yeah, and just happened
zoo
to...
people.
Yeah.
They're not drinking at all. In fact, it's a giant failure. Every keg was full at the end of the night.
And U2 was there playing Zooropa.
This is not... Is this a Sean beer?
This is not a Sean beer.
Yeah, I was going to say, this does not smell like a Sean beer.
I hand-selected this for U2.
Okay. I think I can tell.
Definitely yeasty. But so then the day after that, we went to the Gearhart Hotel McMinimans for the inaugural Goonfest Brewfest.
I want to know how a place in Gearhart can swipe that away from Astoria. That seems like blasphemy to me.
It does, doesn't it? It does.
I mean, I know they're 20 miles apart.
Where would they have it in Astoria?
Well, you
Fort
got
George.
the whole Astor column. You've got Fort George, who happens to put on great beer festivals.
Ecola State Park, where they filmed.
That's Cannon Beach.
Yeah, so.
No, but there's no brewery there though.
Yeah. It's just a field.
Be a lot of-
It's
be a
just
lot
a
of
field in a
Astoria
state park.
Junior.
You know the scene in
Astoria
that movie. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
You could actually see there's a scene shot there where you could actually see my family's old beach house at Cannon Beach. You can see the roof because they had a very unique blue roof. So from like far away it stood out.
It pops out.
And it was like literally for like a flash second. You couldn't see it on the TV. You could only see it in the theater.
So when they put on...
It was too small.
It had to be that big, yeah.
So when they finally put on Kindergarten Cop Fest, that's when they need to make sure they put it in a place where we can see your families.
We actually watched
And
that.
they'll have a contest like
Saturday
whoever
night.
can say it's not a
Kindergarten
Tuma
Cop?
the best way.
It holds up. It was good.
Kindergarten Cop's great.
Yeah, it was a cute movie. I hadn't seen it since the 90s.
But so talk about these festivals.
But so Goonfest, there were 4 tents.
Any celebrities?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
No.
Any fun and games?
There was a
Did you dress up?
no, but there were definitely a few people.
Yeah, I would expect that.
Yeah. There was a little treasure hunt where you had to go and get stamps at like 4 different places. You know, your typical McMinimans thing. But there were 4 tents, and at 3 of the tents there were at least 8 beers. So the lines were just 20 minutes long.
Oh my God.
Just went from like the tents were all the way out kind of by the golf course, and the lines went all the way back into the building.
Wow.
So it was.
And what beers were there?
3-way.
Okay.
Nectarine Premier. That's about all I drank.
Had Nectarine Premier on tap.
Yep.
Wow.
Was there any cosplay with like Sloth?
There was one person dressed up as Sloth with the Superman and the suspenders and the tricorn hat. A lot of tricorn hats.
Was DeGard there, or who put Necto Premier on? It was just a tap. They don't really breweries weren't associated with.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it.
And they gave them cute funsy names that had to do with the movie.
Did McMinimans happen to put out their what was their collab with Great Notion that was so good? Jammy something.
Jammy Pants.
Jammy Pants.
I don't think
Not
so.
Jammy Pants.
Jammy something.
Ruby Jammin'.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. That's delicious.
No, that wasn't.
Best beer ever ported at McMinimans.
There's no great
Until
Notion.
Necto Premier. Are you kidding me?
Or
Or 3-way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they showing the movie nonstop?
Oh, they fucking should have been, but no. Oh, yes. No, they were, but that was inside, and no one was inside. It was too nice.
Yeah. Are you going to go back to are you going to make it an annual trip?
How much was it?
I don't know.
Didn't you tell me $60?
That was Zubru.
Oh, that was Zubru. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Carrie was out of town. I'm like, what are you doing? And you're like,
oh, yeah, I remember
you
that
want to go?
now.
I'm like, how much is it? And you're like, oh, obviously Beth bought this without me checking.
Right, yeah, let me check.
$60 to go to the zoo?
He had 3-way there.
Yeah. Think about how much 3-way I could have bought with $60.
You'd have been drunk as hell on the way home.
Yeah.
With memories of elephants, too, though. Fresh memories.
But so like
tangerines and elephants.
even at the Goon Fest, you could tell that it wasn't necessarily like people weren't there like for the beer, and it was just something.
Course not.
It's just something that I had never experienced before. Going to a beer fest where it's just kind of like we're hanging out.
So
or
you
like,
really didn't go to a
like,
beer fest,
or like I don't know what I'm or like I don't know what I'm gonna drink. Let me take a look and see. Oh, this one sounds fun. I'll get that. It was just a juxtaposition to what I remember Brews for New Avenues being, which was like, as soon as
it's about the beer.
Yeah, and like as soon as a new tap comes on, sprint to that line with your token.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that the last year. It was pretty easy going.
Was it?
At BFNA, yeah, that I went.
I only went to one of them.
It was easy going.
Yeah.
I don't remember being long lines. You could get anything you wanted, pretty much.
The tickets are pretty affordable.
They're very affordable.
We're considering going if you guys are interested.
Are they like 60?
No.
20.
No, 20?
$20, yeah. So, something we can talk about after the show if you want.
Mm.
Any guesses on this mystery beer?
So, it's interesting because it's got enough hops to be a Pilsner, but it's kind of sweet, too, on the finish with the malt.
Yeah.
It's a lager, obviously.
But
I say obviously.
But it's also yeasty.
It's got a pretty strong yeast profile.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Okay.
Overall, I think it's good.
What do you think Chad would think of this
It's
beer?
a little too yeasty.
Oh, heat cream.
How much cream?
Half a cup.
Half a
I
cup.
was going to go with ounces, but okay. Yeah, half cup.
It's I like it. The yeast is too strong. The balance between the sweetness and then the bitterness is a little off. I mean, it's not amazing. I'd give it I'd call this must be like a Pilsner or a hoppy lager or something like that, because there's too much bitterness for me to call this like a Helles.
I'm getting too much yeast to just call it just like a straight like is this a single
that Kanye yeast?
I'm gonna call this like
Belgian single?
This is like a West Coast Pilsner or a hoppy lager or the Pilsner or
Deschutes from Deschutes.
It's very yeasty. It'd be like a 3.5, I think, for me, something like that. It's better than average, but not by much.
Any guesses at the ABV on this?
5.
Yeah. 5-ish.
5.7.
Are we way off?
5.1.
Okay.
Hey, you're spot on.
Do I know who it is?
Could be anybody, maybe. I don't know.
It's a lager. So I'm going to guess it's not a lager brewery. I'm going to guess it's known for their lagers. I'm going to guess it's like someone making a stab at a lager. Great Notion. I'll go with that.
Okay.
I'm going with Gold Dot.
You're going with Gold Dot. You're going with Great Notion.
Sure.
Jim's the winner.
Really?
It's Gold Dot.
Yep. It's kind of cheesy.
It is the Pills to Pills.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what I expect from
That is
Peter Allen.
a very lager-centric brewery. I'm way off.
You're like, it's almost a Pilsner.
Well, I said it's a Pilsner because of the hops, but it is kind of sweet. But he does decoction brewing, so that makes a much more maltier profile.
That's
the malt plays more in it.
Yeah.
Cock.
So that explains the half a cup for Nooner, because he would love that.
Brett, fill that can up.
It's okay.
Yeah.
How much?
I'm surprised I like
because this was supposed to be the
Marcus,
premier lager.
I live in that tax bracket where we don't even look at prices anymore.
Oh my god.
Beer prices, yeah. If I'm just getting like 5 or 6 at the store, I don't look.
Yeah.
It's definitely fresh.
Yeah.
It's canned about
canned tomorrow.
12 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
God, we just got that.
So
interesting.
it's okay.
We got that on Saturday. Picked that up at New Seasons.
I'd have definitely tried it. If I saw a beer from Gold Dot, I'd be interested.
Yeah. We had gone back to the meat counter after we already bought our beers, and Juan was coming out of the back door and goes, "Hey, I was just bringing out this 4-pack. You want one of them?" Sure. I know some guys that'll like this.
So you associate the yeastiness with Peter Allen.
I do.
Interesting.
Yeah, like a cheesiness almost.
Huh. It is yeasty. I mean, that's definitely a strong yeast profile.
And I'm surprised. I kind of like it, but I was thinking it was almost more of a Belgian.
I don't mind it. It's okay, but like if I want to like have a few of them, that's gonna be tough.
Right. Yeah.
I want something cleaner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed there.
Anybody care about Anchor being purchased by a yogurt company?
I think it's kind of cool that they're gonna stay around.
Yeah.
That I would assume he's gonna pump some money in.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't mean to me, but like, what is he hoping to get out of this?
ROI, baby.
From what?
From the beer.
ROI.
The steam. He's gonna use the steam to turn turbines.
Ah, there we go.
To then churn to
make power.
To then churn the
yogurt.
The yogurt up. Yeah.
I guess it's an interesting purchase. I mean, the guy's a billionaire, so he obviously knows a lot more than me. But about business,
just like Trump.
Yeah. But it's an interesting purchase. Hey, cool for.
He's also better than us. We need
good
to
for Anchor
that.
Brewing. Like,
yes.
I mean, I'm not against it surviving and moving on. I mean, that's great. But so you're gonna buy a bunch of Anchor steam beer now?
Only if it's Greek.
You're gonna buy.
It's so thick.
You're gonna buy their anniversary, their winter, whatever.
Oh God,
The Greek version,
Christmas.
Yeah,
the Christmas ale or whatever it is.
A Greek Christmas.
Yeah,
Tastes like Windex.
Oh my God, I did not buy any this last year. Was it even out?
well, that's because it wasn't out.
Yeah.
That's because the brewery closed.
But I thought they still were putting shit out though. I don't remember. Yeah, I probably won't. I don't know. I think I might be done buying all those annual holiday beers. I
What?
know.
Whoa!
Does Carrie know
wait a
about
minute.
this?
I still might. I might still get Jubal Ale.
Why? Why would you include that?
That's the one you should.
Why would you
Well,
keep buying it?
Well, because all right, what's the other?
I think you need to-
There's three that I always get. There's Jubal. There's the one from
Anchor.
Lagunitas.
Brown sugar.
Brown
Brown
sugar,
Sugar, yeah.
which has just been god awful.
Really?
Huh?
And then the Anchor. So
Those are the only three you get every year.
those
at
are the
Christmas.
3 Christmas beers I get every year. Just out of habit, and because I've been doing it for years, and I have not
and
liked.
they're all terrible.
I have not liked one of them for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
What? Why now?
I don't know. Finances.
Are we just?
I was just
Are
gonna
we-
say he's in that tax bracket, but,
But those
not
are all
that tax bracket.
those are all cheap beers. I mean, compared to
Yeah.
like the beer we're drinking tonight, they're all cheaper than
Yeah,
this.
yeah, no, they are. It's awful. So
It is. No, that's. I'm actually happy for you. I want because Sean, contrary to what I project on the show, I want you to be happy.
I mean, we're not gonna look at the reality of the situation here, but
yeah.
Good to pour in.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, this smells really unique.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I wish I could have said
It
that like
smells
Ron
unique.
Burgundy. This
Smells
smells
like there's
unique.
There's no dick on this.
Huh.
It was just the balls they took off.
I'm smelling a little medicine on top.
How'd you get the beans above the Frank?
Franks and beans.
Beer's a lot. Oh, there's so much head on this thing. God damn.
So it's not hair of
So
the
it's gonna be
dog.
awful because we all know carbonation equals terrible beer.
Good seltzer. Terrible beer.
The nose
This would
doesn't
make
match,
a great seltzer.
The nose doesn't match the flavor. It's interesting.
Really? How so?
I get a medicine-y
On the
nose,
nose? Huh.
but I don't get medicine-y on the flavor.
It's like
I get.
raisiny bourbon. Maybe not quite bourbon, but like
I get a touch of cherry.
So-
I know what you mean by
okay,
medicinal, but not.
yeah.
But not. It's not medicinal to me. It's just
Yeah.
cherry.
So is it a barley wine or a strong ale?
it is not.
Okay.
Although it
So-
might be, this might be one of those, is a square a rectangle a square type of
Yeah.
deals.
Is it a creek with the cherries on there? I mean,
It's not a creek.
okay.
There's no sourness in this.
Yeah.
This is like a.
This is the it's the Deschutes cherry jubilee, not jubilee, cherry
Dissident?
the Abyss. It's either the Abyss or the Black Butte Porter. Yeah, am I close? Okay, he's saying no. Fuck.
I mean,
'Cause
style
I know they did a cherry version of one of the things, and I drank it. And I was like, nope. This is a
This
note
is
for
really
me.
good. I am surprised.
This is a note for me. This is really good. That's the magic of everybody's perspective.
Right?
So
Like, I probably would have I probably walked right past that gold dot, and here I am loving it. And this I only got because it was going to be a fun one for the show.
Wait, so you did love the gold
this
dot.
one I actually
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked
Marcus
it.
didn't like it, and you loved it.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's okay. I don't think it's like what
You
I say
said a
3.5.
That's
Yeah.
better than average.
Yeah.
So.
This I actually don't like. It's not for me. It's
It's aggressive.
the bitterness is too much for me.
There is a lot of bitterness.
Yeah.
For
The
me, this
maltiness is okay.
This feels like amber beer is trying to punch me in the face.
This feels
For hating it
like
so much.
Arrogant Bastard. Like my first taste of Arrogant
Okay.
Bastard. Yeah.
I can definitely see that. The old Rogue classic, which
I
they
was
just
good-
turned like 35 years. Rogue, is that what it was that I saw? 35 years or 25 years? Down at Newport.
I don't know. Probably 35.
Yeah,
I'm sure 35.
anniversary going on
As
right
old
now.
as me.
This is like a lesser alcohol, way tamed down version of Doggy Claws. Like
And you
don't
down
even
the
like
hop
Doggy
profile.
Claws.
But as much as they took that down, they added
Malt.
carbonation to it.
Yes, that too. I mean, this is not hair of the dog, but yeah, it's I don't know what it is. It's
What
it not hair of the dog? You
style?
sure?
I normally would say like it's like a lower ABV barley wine, like West Coast barley
He said
wine.
no to barley wine.
not a barley wine, but
I said barley wine strong ale right off the bat.
But it might be like I said, square versus rectangle.
It's got too many. It's got too many hops to be.
It's a
strong
wine
ale.
barley.
Wine barley.
It's got too many hops to be a strong ale.
There's hops
or like
in
a
this?
wee heavy or anything like that. At least unless it's not to style.
This is the style of beer where if you told me there's hops in there, I wouldn't believe you.
Oh, are you kidding me? I get a ton of bitterness.
Do you?
Yeah, a decade ago I would have been with you, but yeah, this is hoppy.
That's my lack of understanding of how hops work then, I guess.
Just like taste it and tell like just bitterness, not hop flavor, just like bitter at the finish. That's what I get. Is like that's when the hops come through. But
I don't know.
I feel like I kind of get the bitterness middle to up front.
okay.
I'm one of those guys, I never, like when you talk about hoppy pills and hoppy this and hoppy that, if it's not IPA or pale, I don't taste hops.
Did you taste bitterness in the Gold Dot?
Yeah, but I when I hear about hops, I'm thinking about the hop flavor. I don't think about bitterness.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking for that hop flavor.
Yeah, you're looking for the
That's the way my brain's wired for it.
alpha
So
acids.
I'll say this. I like the malt profile in it. It's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, this I'm happily surprised.
If it wasn't for the bitterness, I would be more on board with it. But
the fuck is
for me, it's a
it?
little too much.
So it's not a Freem.
So I don't know.
Style.
I've guessed my guesses.
It's been stated.
Oh,
Wee heavy?
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
what's the difference between a wee heavy and a strong ale?
It's,
A strong ale is a broader category than a wee heavy.
well, yeah, and a wee
So
heavy.
wee heavy is a strong ale.
Probably.
A wee heavy is more like English style too. Like a strong ale is American malts. It can be any kind of
good
malt
point
backbone
there.
you want. It can be much lighter than this too. A wee heavy is going to be more darker malts, more English style malts.
What is Founders?
So this is Founder's Dirty Bastard.
Wow.
Also purchased at the Whet House.
I've had this.
I have never heard of that. What is it? I mean, beyond wee heavy, is that just it? It's just a wee heavy?
Scotch style ale.
Scotch wee
Scotch.
heavy.
Okay, yeah. Okay. When you said British, I was going, no, this,
8.5%.
I'd go more Scottish.
50 IBUs.
Well, European.
Bottled in January.
How many IBU?
50.
Okay.
Rich
I mean,
notes
that's
of
more. That's
caramel and
less
dried
than I
fruits.
thought it had actually.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And it's not barrel aged because it doesn't taste like
Correct.
it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, that's a fun one to try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good. Well done, Founders.
I can honestly say I would never buy that.
You would never buy that?
No.
I have definitely passed on this so many times in the stores when back in the
Let me
Midwest
look.
days.
If it was barrel aged, would you buy it?
Maybe. I'm pretty sure. I got to look this up because I think I've had this. You guys keep talking while I do this. But
I'm sure he has.
Talk
This
about
has
something.
Been around, but
I haven't had it. I'm sure of that. But
yeah, that like bitterness at the beginning. As
Yeah,
soon
I
as
had
I
this.
tasted it, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you like that.
That's Founders.
I had
Oh,
this.
Founders.
Not necessarily that I liked it, but it's Founders. Like
Okay.
like I get that in KBS, I get that in their breakfast stout.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had this
Just
in
whatever hopping regimen.
2017.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I give it a 3.
A 3.
Is that what you'd give it today?
2.75.
Similar.
Yeah.
It's because of the hops.
Yeah.
I think it's a well done beer. It's just not for me,
Mm-hmm.
is what I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No.
not. It's
I'd
not
say
my style.
typically Same here.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna go venture into this territory, I'd just rather go straight into English style barley wine. Like
Barrel-aged English style
I'd
barley
pass
wine,
this
yeah.
by and go into English style
Right.
barley
Yep.
wine.
Yeah. Same
Yeah.
here.
So
Same here.
So, guys, I know everybody on this show here is, our dirty little secrets is we all love the WWE wrestling. What do you think about Hulk Hogan coming out with his own beer? And will it be in good competition with
Stone Cold
Steve Austin's
Skull Ranch or whatever?
well,
I'd love to see who's going to win that battle in the
there's
ring.
4 check-ins so far
Is that it?
since April 17th.
Really?
4
Only
check-ins
4 check-ins.
on Untapped.
Wow.
We have 3 threes and a
3.5.
375.
3.75.
That's actually better than I ever thought it would be, but I wonder if those are like Midwest
Hulk Hogan
rankings.
or the beer?
Both.
This beer may not ever even reach the West Coast.
It doesn't need to.
Who brews it? Craft Heads
Brewing. It's a blonde ale.
Oh my! Of course it is for the Hulkster.
That might be my least favorite style.
Blonde?
Blonde ale.
Really?
Oh, that's a good question.
Worse than amber?
Oh no, that's a good question. What is your least
Probably.
favorite beer style?
Really?
Just like the ones that it's been a long time since I've had one, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't like it. Not for me.
He's gritting his teeth.
What's your least favorite beer style.
Amber. I mean, yeah, amber. Yeah, I mean,
Really?
I'm not a fan of blonde, but I would take a blonde over an amber just because it has more of a crisp value than an amber would ever have on a summer day.
I think for me at this point in time, it's it's American style barley wine.
Your least?
My least favorite. Hoppy barley wine. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that.
What if it was barrel aged?
So pretty much what I brought.
That's better. No, but that's actually better.
What if it's barrel aged?
Huh?
What if it's barrel aged?
It depends on the beer, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a straight
There's a
American
chance
style
there.
barley wine.
Yeah, they're so fucking bitter.
Oh, it's just gross. It's a sweet, like heavy malt profile and then bitter. And I hate that.
If we're going to talk about least favorite styles, we could get into the brutes.
No, we aren't talking about that.
We could get into the brutes, which I hate. We could get into all the shit I hate, the Belgian stuff that I just can't.
Yeah,
really
that's
drink.
the question. What's your least favorite?
Yeah,
well,
like the ambers. Well, like I can chug an amber down. It's less offensive to me than an American style barley wine.
But we used to go to the barley wine festival.
Yeah,
and we liked it.
Some of it.
Yeah, but I mean, we went many. Well, at least I went probably at least 6 or 7 years.
What was the name of it from the brewery? The barley wine we had there. It started with an M, something number 6. It was.
Oh yeah,
and that was the first time. And that was
from Lucky Lab.
No. It was from the brewery.
Oh, okay.
It started with an M.
Melange.
Numbers. The melange.
The numbers. Yeah.
So
Melange
one of the years
fantastic.
we went there, it was the first time we had a barrel aged English style barley wine. And it was the melange.
Yeah.
And it blew the socks off of anything else we had.
Like just kept getting in that
and
line.
it was like eye-opening to me. And all of a sudden, I think that was the turning point where I'm like, all of a sudden, like, I don't like American style barley wine. This sucks in comparison to the melange.
Well,
and I remember you and I, we
Mother's
for that.
a barley wine.
But then, Mother was, but Mother wasn't at that festival.
No. Maybe in the early days. I don't know.
Well, not when I
Do they call themselves an English style barley wine?
Yes.
Mother does? Okay.
Oh, Mother does? Yes.
Yeah.
No. I mean, when you barrel age things, it takes a better turn for everything. I mean, in my opinion.
Blonde ales?
Barrel aged blonde.
Nothing can save
Come on,
that.
Hulk. Let's do it.
Barrel aged Hulkster beer.
Nothing can save that.
Oh, my God.
Not even Hulk's pythons.
Have either of you tried the Stone Cold Steve Austin IPA?
I've never seen it.
Don't think so.
El Segundo
Have you
Brewing.
seen it?
I've had it.
Oh, when?
They sold it at ABV.
Oh, really?
They sold cans of it. It's in Safeway.
I'm sure it's
everywhere.
crap.
It's grocery store.
Is it good?
Beer. No.
Yeah.
It's not. It's very average middle or Midwest East Coast IPA.
Well, it's good to pop open and then kind of
smash them against your head,
smash them together above your head, and
That's
then just kind of pour the rest over your face.
And
They're
spit them into the
for
face
that.
of the rock.
Yeah,
Good point.
they're perfect for that.
Oh my God.
The skulls are blue. We'll just say that.
Oh.
And it's Hulk Hogan, not Hollywood.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
What would Hollywood Hogan come out with?
A blonde.
Oh, barrel aged barley wine.
No. Yeah, exactly. American style.
Wolfpack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta rent this.
Evil Hogan.
All right, should we do the last one, I guess?
Last mystery beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
While you're doing that,
I came out swinging. Imperial Stout. Scotch Ale.
To be fair, I held you off of your first choice.
True.
Hey, we're supposed to do a letter, Kenny, if you're gonna do To Be Fair.
Oh, this is a goose.
It is. Freshly canned.
So while you're doing that, I've got a new category. The Sorry Jason Shitz has to ask, and actually any one of you guys can always ask a question.
All right, fine. I'll ask a question.
If you didn't find the magic success of being a #1 podcaster, what would you be doing with yourself right now?
Right now?
Yeah, like if
Why is it magic success? I feel like we put in the work.
Yeah.
We put in the elbow grease.
This doesn't
tough.
come naturally.
No.
You think we wake up with this podcast?
We grind this out every single month or something?
Right. That's working hard for that monthly pay. But no, like if you so really what the gist of this question is, if you did not have a love of the craft brew scene, if you weren't a beer nerd, if you weren't doing a beer podcast, what other interests do you guys have? What do you like to pursue that's not beer related?
Oh God, we're going
that's
there.
really what the gist of the question was. I framed it in a...
Well, we talked about butt chugging earlier. You want to talk about that?
My 70 plants, 70 plus house plants that I have.
Good Lord. You do have a lot of plants.
Yeah, indoor. Yeah, they're all indoors. Yeah.
When I house sat for you guys,
yeah.
I so thought that was Beth.
Nope, that is all me. She will kill them faster than I can.
Wow, it's a lot of plants. I've got the only plants I have, indoor plants, are in the other room, and they're all succulents sitting right in the window. I water them once a week, and that's great. A cactus I water like once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I know how to do.
I feel like at this point though, it's like
you've got a jungle going on.
I do. Like I got into it in 2020, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make bread, so I got into plants, and now it's
you
just
propagate. Yeah.
I attempt to, but they're still just sitting there.
Oh, okay.
A year later.
Yeah.
Do you ever regret not making bread?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish I'd gotten into it.
I feel
I'd
like my
learn
blood
how to
sugar
make
would be
bread.
a little bit higher if I did that.
So plants is your thing?
What could be?
If you're
Well, I was gonna say I feel like at this point, like I don't know if it's just because the house is full or just because I've gotten to the point where like I had a hobby for 3 years. Now I'm like it just kind of sustains itself. Like I'm like at this like not bulking level, but just maintaining level.
So it's now it's just caring for what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't like.
So do you go around asking people, do you even plant, bro?
It doesn't like fully bring me joy anymore, like it did, or at least getting a new plant didn't. Now I'm just like, oh, you've outgrown your pot. Now I don't have a pot that fits you. What are you doing?
I've done a good job keeping you alive and nurturing you. Fuck.
Why are you flowering again? God damn it.
Yeah. Marcus? If you weren't brewing and...
It involves a lot of like nudity, crying, and masturbation.
Yeah.
You guys do
that wasn't...
On off days?
I figured that was a given.
On off days?
So if that's going to be your thing, it'd be probably monsturbation? I don't know.
Right now? In this evening? Right now?
Nah, just in general, like what would be your go-to thing that you do to keep yourself entertained and hobby that you go out and do, share with friends and that kind of stuff?
No,
I know what your answer is going to be.
It'd be gaming for me.
I mean, yeah, I play games, PS5, console gamer, brewing.
No, you can't brew. That's part of the beer thing. You
no beer, period?
No beer stuff.
What else?
Do you think you would be pursuing more of your culinary?
I already do some of that.
You do a lot of that.
Yeah. I just recently bought a new smoker and I've been having fun playing with that and doing a lot of stuff on that. It's afforded me the ability to do some more things with just barbecue. So yeah, I've kind of been getting into that lately. Taking care of our place is always a big chore. I do a lot of that.
That's just a daily grind thing.
Yeah, it is a grind.
I'm talking about things you enjoy.
I'd probably be doing laundry, guys.
Unless you enjoy home repair. Some people love home repair.
Well, not home repair, just taking care of, like, in the springtime, we have 10 acres, and it's a bunch of work.
Yeah, shit grows.
Yeah. But yeah, you're probably right. Barbecue, right? I mean, I've researched that to death like I did brewing. So, that's my thing now, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So, how about you, Sean?
Well, I think you're sitting in a room where you can look around and kind of get a feel for what I love to do, and I haven't been able to do it as much as I used to.
Classical
you love
music.
The cello.
Classical music.
Fucking beat me to it.
There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and one downstairs, 17 stringed instruments, a collection of percussion instruments, and a really nice keyboard behind me. I love music. I love making music and making sound. And
would you have a garage band?
You know what? Here's the funny thing. I've been playing music since I was 16 years old, and I've never really been in a band.
Have you wanted to? Probably at one point you did, but at this point, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I've had like my brother. My brother's a professional musician, and I used to, when he lived up on the mountain, I used to go up and he used to.
He lived up on the mountain.
He lived on Mount Hood. He lived on Mount Hood on a big farm and shared a piece of property with his in-laws.
The mountain, like there's one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
the mountain.
We'd go up there and have these big jam sessions all the time. And then when he was living with he got divorced and then was living with his girlfriend, we'd have jam sessions there. And I was playing like with really, really good accomplished musicians. And I'm not. I'm a pure hobbyist musician. So it's a lot of fun. It's always fun to sit in with people who are better than you when you play stuff.
That's fun. Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
because you just learn
with anything. I think
challenges
if they're
you.
Willing to,
and
they're cool
they
about
were
it.
so patient with me.
I think that's with anything, like with brewing, same thing. Like I loved hanging out with people who were better than me.
Yeah, I would sit and jam with my brother and
hang out with us.
My brother's housemate. like the dude like literally was the #1 contender to join the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh wow!
Until then, Dave Navarro called up and took the job from him. Like he was the guy that was going to be in the Chili Peppers, so jam with him.
He couldn't beat out Dave Navarro. Jeez, he sucks.
Yeah, I know he sucks. And now he's got his own pedal company, Kitty Castor Pedals. If you guys ever want to go check it out. But yeah, so that kind of stuff is a blast. But I never was in a band.
Would you be like a promoter or like would you have?
I don't know. That's business. That sounds like the shitty part of music. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I know that Jason Fellman guy who actually went to high school with you and I. He was a Beaverton High School alumni. He does all the tribute bands in Portland. He does all those tribute band shows. So, I mean, he must love what he does because he's been doing it for a long time and he's very successful. He does the Hair Fest and all that stuff. So he, there's got to be some fun in there if you know what you're doing. I wouldn't want to do anything business-wise on music. That would ruin music for me. But yeah, I love being a hobbyist musician. It's a great way to. I can come up here if nobody's home. I can come up here, and I will sit down with a guitar. Next thing I know, it's 3 hours later, and I had no idea it's been 3 hours. Like that's fun.
That's the best.
Yeah,
that's the best.
Yeah,
you're blacking out.
Yep. I have a lot of beers, pick up the guitar. I wake up on the floor with the guitar out of tune.
Yeah. There's a little bit of vomit on the floor. It's fine.
I feel like
just like Hendrix.
Or Farley.
Too soon.
Farley? He was a musician?
He was.
Okay.
With his voice.
Yeah.
With his comedy.
His voice. So anyways, that was our Sorry Jason segment. So if you guys ever want to throw something on there, feel free. Right. We'll have a question of the show.
What do you think of that beer? Let's do that. Mystery beer.
I don't know what this is.
What do you think of it?
It's a familiar flavor.
This isn't something I would buy.
It isn't.
But this tastes like something I've had. It really it reminds me a lot of that cherry.
We were recording.
I can't remember if it was Abyss or the Cherry Black Butte that came out recently. It's not cherry enough to be that though.
There's some smoked malt in here, doing a little bit of the umami soy sauce thing. Almost, it wants to get there, but it's not.
Let me see the bottle. Let me see your. Oh, it's a can. Okay, so it's not. It's not some old stone beer you brought in.
It's a new stone beer.
I have a canning line at home now, and I repackage mystery beers.
We're repackaging all my old beers.
Yeah.
You got one of those You got one of those carbonation machines.
Just wait till you get one of those infected Deschutes Abyss years in a can.
Is that worse than Bourbon County Stout?
Because Sean looks. And he looks at the bottle to see, or the can to see what it is.
He tries to understand it.
Yeah. So if you did that, if you pulled that shit,
I put more cans back on the shelf than I ever take off the shelf. When I look at the dates,
I'm a little surprised you guys haven't said something about this beer but I know what it is. So
should I know what this is?
No.
Okay, so this isn't something I'm familiar with.
Maybe, but not
Probably
as far
not.
as I know.
Okay.
Vanilla, maybe.
Okay.
Chocolate, maybe.
I think Jim's got a better palate for this. I don't.
No guess. Okay.
Just the cherry, medicinal.
Really, you're getting cherry? Okay. I don't get cherry.
Maybe like Light Lord instead of Dark Lord.
Baby Lord.
That's kind of the
baby Light Lord.
That'd be better. Yeah, Baby Lord. It's the new sequel to Boss Baby.
It's not Light Lord. It's not like it's from Hulk Hogan. Okay. Yeah. All right, you want me to reveal it?
Yeah, let's just do it.
I'm waiting on
stout.
It is in the stout category.
In the stout category.
What? It's in the stout category?
It's a stout.
Okay, it's a stout. Boy, I would not have got that.
Do you think it's barrel aged?
Do I think it's barrel aged? If it is, it's poorly barrel aged.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But probably not. Probably.
You think they use like wood chips?
So homebrew.
Oak spirals.
I brewed this, guys.
Is this one of yours?
No.
You canned it?
Yeah, I canned it. I don't have a canning line.
Okay. You said you did. Don't be a liar.
This is from Threshold Brewing.
Oh.
It is barrel aged.
What?
It is a barrel aged 6.8% milk stout.
Oh, see.
Called Jackknife.
Did we have this when we were there?
No, we had an actual full imperial stout from them. This was barrel aged for 12 months in whiskey barrels.
What? I like Threshold.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know what it is?
I like this beer.
It's the milk.
This is really good.
I pick up the barrel, so that's why I thought you guys might say that. When you said vanilla, I'm like, yeah, vanilla. Well, milk sugar.
But
that's
the milk sugar that I thought was vanilla. Yeah. Or that chocolate.
I've had
up
this.
Front.
I have had this.
That's why I said I don't know if you've had it or not.
This is
maybe you might.
I had this last year.
This is what Tidelands
and
wants
I gave it
to
a 3.75 at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd give it around that 3.75, 4, something like that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's not, like a barrel-aged genius beer, but it's good.
Yeah, this was good. Like I said, this is what Tidelands wants to be.
Oh, really? Do you like it better than Tidelands?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Well, Tidelands is also, like, it's tough. Like, when it's a 6.8% beer to be barrel-aged, I mean, that's...
You're asking for infection.
When you're just asking for a lot out of it, it's just going to get thinner and thinner.
Try to, right, yeah, to try to get something. Yeah,
for
good
12
point.
months in a beer with a 6.8% beer, it's like...
It held up, though. It was thick.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it I wouldn't call it thick, but I wouldn't call it super thin.
No.
So I think the lactose helps with that, would be my guess.
Good point. Yeah, I would have guessed like somewhere around 8% for this. Yeah.
So as I said before, my wife spent 2 weeks up in Canada, up in Calgary to be specific. I went up to Calgary a few years ago for New Year's Eve.
For the Olympics?
Yeah. And we hit this place, Cabin Brewing, who I really liked when I was up there. Thought pretty damn good. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. What are we looking at?
The skis.
Oh, my Rainier skis?
Yeah, your Rainier jumping skis.
Those are my dad's.
Did he ever use them?
Yeah, those are real used Rainier beer skis.
Real used.
Real used. Yep. So anyways,
Not mint anymore.
Cabin Brewing. Carrie was up there, and I said, she goes, we don't know what to do today. I said, hey, what if you went to Cabin Brewing and brought back some beers? And they went, and they had a great time. And she even told the guys, I'm going to get some beers for my husband who has a beer podcast. They ended up giving her like a whole bunch of beers to bring back.
Just giving them to her?
She bought a bunch, and they gave her a few also. So anyways, this is older.
Oh, so now we have to be nice to
This
them.
isn't going to be as fresh.
Just like we did Stone.
Yeah, this isn't going to be as fresh as we're used to, but Jim, you might like this. It's about a month old, maybe a month and a half.
It's only a month old. That's not that bad. There's no dates in Canada, right? Oh, no, there's a date.
There's a date. Yeah.
Remember, it's metric date.
That's right.
This is their hazy.
That was my joke. Damn it.
I've got a West Coast in there too, I believe.
Oh, it's not that old.
How old?
3 weeks.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
May 28th.
Yeah.
So this should be good.
Not the 28th month and the third day.
2022, what does that mean?
So imagine...
No, 2024.
Imagine you're going somewhere
3 weeks.
and you expect absolutely nothing, and this is what you get. That's kind of how I hit this beer. When I went up there, I was expecting to have no decent beer at all.
Yeah, like Molson.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought, the craft brew scene here's got to be probably pretty minimal. And this is what I got when I was up there. And I don't think it's that bad. I give this higher points just because it surprised me.
It smells good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a strong beer. Beer
What
Forte.
is the percentage on it? Does it
6.
say? 6?
That makes Molson Triple X a strong beer.
It's better than anything I've had from the
It's
Midwest
perfectly
or
fine
the
hazy.
East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a hazy pale, not a hazy IPA.
This is super saturation, a hazy
I like
pale
it.
ale.
That's actually...
It's not even IPA, it's a pale ale. It's a hazy pale.
I'd get this free no matter what, whether you paid for it or didn't. So...
What would you give this?
Episode 70
Hazy
of
pale ale?
Portland Bears podcast is available now.
There you go.
For the style,
That's pretty damn good.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's above average.
I was trying to lower your
It's not.
expectations.
It's not too sweet. No, it's actually pretty good.
I enjoy this.
No,
stuff.
you're telling the truth, Sean.
This is good. I'm
It's
enjoying
good.
this. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that ain't bad.
It surprised me.
I hate the can. Can I say that?
It looks like
The
California
art
jogger
is
shorts.
the art just makes me want to puke. But other than that, the beer is
It's very
fine.
70s.
Yeah, I like
It is very. It's very
which is
Austin Powers.
probably
It's like if
intentional.
Austin Powers
Yeah.
made a beer.
Hey, it stands out. That would stand out on a beer shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would get a crushy. It would win a crushy. Best retro beer logo,
It's very retro looking. That's true. Yeah.
which is the style of the time.
It belongs on a jumbo jet, baby.
Yeah. Pretty good for
It's not bad.
an area that's
It's
not known
it's
for their craft
surprisingly
beers.
like it's very pale.
Yeah, the
The
color
beer
on
itself is very pale.
Well, it's a pale ale.
it. I've had some pale ales that are quite amber.
Like this is bordering on like white
Yeah.
yellow.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
There's
very-
a beer style I hate.
White yellow?
Wits.
Like see-through,
Hate wit.
Wit is not
translucent,
translucent beer.
translucent beer. You should try that. Oh, it's called a seltzer.
It's called hop water.
Ah, even better.
They actually had hop water. Carrie had it, but she left it with her sister because they were making gin fizzes with the hop water from this place, and it was so good she left them for her sister. I was like, you didn't bring one back?
Yeah, like just one? Come on.
So she said it was really good.
Well, her sister can go back there and get more. You can't.
Hey, Missy's coming down in this summer, so maybe we can get her to bring some hop water down.
Oh, yeah, we can't get that here. Let's do it.
Oh. There's no hop water in Oregon.
No, you can't make gin fizz and hop water
here in the hop water scene. So,
yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
That's definitely, if I found that at a brewery I knew nothing about, I'd be pleased.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like if
it's not so sweet. Like I could drink a pint of this, no problem. I could probably have a couple pints and be fine with it.
If I went to a
Agreed.
tap house, they didn't have some of my regular favorites, and they had this, I'd order this again.
If they didn't have the best three-way ever, I guess I could live on this.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about all of our mystery beers. Is like I would probably walk right past them, but like given the right situation,
They'd be good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
that's fair.
I would never order that or buy that Gold Dot again, just because that's not my style. I bought that for you guys.
I'm more likely to now.
Are you really?
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm gonna. but
I'm
more
gonna
likely
try
to.
Gold Dot just because I know his history with Wayfinder. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
his beers.
Mm-hmm.
But it was actually
Maybe not the amber ones, but
But
you know
see,
what
it's
I mean.
actually listed as a Heater Allen beer.
This is.
Yeah, read the can.
Maybe that's where it was brewed.
It was brewed and canned by Heater Allen,
There you go.
but it is under the Gold Dot label.
Right.
As far as I know, that's what it's going to be, but
God,
that's
this
just
is-
their premium
This is getting
lager.
as confusing as the corporate world is
Chad's
now.
at home going right now, going, God damn it! I told you what this is.
You know what? I hate the can art of the Gold Dot more than the
I agree.
that is just ugly. I don't
Yeah.
like it at all.
It's very. That also is
It's
very
like-
70s.
I almost like.
But
50s.
it's like-
It's
yeah.
like 50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like here's a stencil. It's the one stencil guy in town could make it. So
Yeah, the
it's
circle. It's a really good circle.
It's
Perfect
Yep.
circle.
beat me to it.
Yep, Gerald made this. Thanks, Gerald. Learn how to stencil a little more, man. Just you need another person who knows how to stencil to push you beyond your boundaries. Because right now you're a C-level stenciler.
They probably spent more on their can art than what Cabin Brewing did. And Cabin Brewing's is
man, I
better.
hope not.
So I
But
don't
definitely
know,
not as much as Grey Notion.
I don't know who posted this article on here, but it sounds real interesting because Athletic Brewing buys old Ballast Point. So an NA beer manufacturer bought a regular beer company.
Yeah.
Who posted this?
I did.
Go for it.
So Ballast Point got bought by actually another place called Kings and Convicts, but they
Yeah.
kept making Ballast Point beer. Well, that failed basically. And now they've sold the original brew house, blah blah blah, Ballast Point to Athletic Brewing, who is apparently just going gangbusters.
They are.
Yeah.
They're ads on my like all of my podcasts now.
They're hoping to
Yeah.
by buying this is a big brew house. They're hoping to it's a 300 barrel and a 150 barrel brew house.
Wow.
They're hoping to double their production of NA beer
And that's San Diego,
in the next
right?
year. Yeah, by buying
So
the
they
San
just
Diego
bought the
spot.
place so they could use their brewing equipment to
Yeah.
make more beer.
Yeah, but Ballast Point's now.
They're gone. You'll never see them again.
I don't know if you'll see them
Goodbye,
again
Tin
or
Tacker
not.
on my wall.
Sea Monster was a good beer.
I think Ballast Point might actually get brewed at just other breweries under the name Ballast Point with the recipe, but not at a Ballast Point facility anymore.
Okay.
So, but like Athletic Brewing is just going gangbusters. They're gonna do like 1 million barrels in
God
NA
damn.
beer next year is what they're hoping for.
Is Athletic
Beering?
Brewing?
You're right, Sean. It's working.
I told you. Are they like the? I don't know. Who's a big craft brewery that isn't really a craft brewery?
The Craft Brew Alliance. Are they?
Well,
anything
I
more?
mean, like
I think so.
Jim Cock.
like,
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? Like
well, like who?
Dogfish Head? Oh, they've
Yeah.
been bought, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, cause is there better
Like
NA
New
beer
Belgium?
out there that's like just better quality but smaller,
Probably. I mean, I don't.
craftier?
Not
Well,
that
I don't
I've
know,
had.
like,
Not that I've had.
Crux's NA beer
Right.
sucks.
Yep. That's where I was
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
I think Athletic makes. As from Chad's tried a bunch of them too, and he said Athletic makes the best NA beer.
I've tried a few of them and I haven't had any that were that great. I really like the Deschutes Black Butte Porter NA beer. I thought that was pretty good for an NA beer.
But they don't make any other NA beer,
Deschutes?
do they?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I have not had a good IPA. I have
Right.
not had a good NA
Right.
IPA.
Supposedly
And
Athletics
the-
IPAs are
I've
good.
had it and it's not.
Yeah.
So I'll fight you.
But
No,
it's-
I've not had it, so I don't want to fight.
I
remember
that's the
if I've
thing.
had
Like
it.
if I was gonna like just drink NA beer and you can't find a good IPA, I'd be pretty pissed off. Maybe that's hard to.
Well, that's
I could see
that's
that'd
kind
be
of
hard to do.
That's a hard no for you at that point, right? For NA
I've
beer.
had hop water that's better than NA IPA.
I've had hop water that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't had an IPA that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hey, listeners, portlandbeerclub@gmail.com. What's a good NA
Or our
IPA? Let us
Instagram,
know.
comment on that. How about that?
Just
Because most people
somebody.
don't email; they do.
Nobody
media.
does anything with our show. Let's be real.
Like Snapchat us,
Unless
like
Jason wants to like criticize our shit for
yes.
too many sorry Jason
Snapchat
articles.
us your favorite NA IPA tattooed on your junk, like something. Give us something. No?
Ballast
Okay,
balls.
don't do that.
NA IPA. Do you feel like you got a thought in your head there that just
I
wants
don't
to
wanna
escape?
say-
no, you
no.
do. You do.
It's not like this is being recorded. Just say
no.
it.
Give us a review and a shot of that beehole.
B-roll.
Yes.
Okay. The
Be
B-hole,
real.
B-roll.
Leave that up to the listener.
So yeah. Anyways, it's just another thing where like breweries going away and NA beer is still on the rise. So I don't know what your problem is, Sean. It's clearly great.
I disagree, sir.
That's just the alcohol talking.
Well, there's a lot of that involved. Oh, all right. Fremont was acquired by a hospitality group back in April. Were we not looking, or did we talk about this
We
already?
did.
I don't know. Did you guys talk about it when I was in here?
Talked about
That's
this.
why I threw it on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcus, you need to listen to the show.
Why?
If you're not going to,
That was the one
here,
Chad was on.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get rid of that story.
Who's Chad?
Craig?
Chef.
Oh, Craig.
Craig.
Chafe.
Craig doesn't know anything about Seattle beer.
He's never brewed with any of them.
Chafe. Well, then we only have one thing left, Marcus.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
We do.
What else? What have we
What do
missed?
we have left?
We have your
Did you have any thoughts on the Space Needle buying Fremont?
Yeah, it was Space Needle. Yeah, that's who bought it.
Yeah.
You know, it was the traditional like, oh, all the same people are staying in place and doing their thing, blah blah blah. But it's like, yeah, but when the owner gets a bunch of money of Fremont, like, how long is he actually going to hang around and make sure that the quality's doing, the same as it's
Right.
always been? The idea
fair
was,
point.
they get more funds to be able to do more of what they do, and if that's what they get, great.
Awesome.
But
Love
if
it.
like in a year or two, like there's changeover and people have changed and their direction is potentially changed, and like the group that owns them wants return on investment,
Right. Yeah.
it's like
Did the
I don't know.
goals change?
I'm
Yeah.
cautiously like I'm just cautious about it because I mean if the Fremont like barrel age program changes, that stinks.
That really does
That would
suck. That would suck. Yeah.
That really
but
sucks.
if it also means that I can get a rusty nail up at 3,000 feet, I'm all for it. 300 feet. How tall is that thing? I don't know.
5,000 yards.
1 mile high. It's Denver.
525,600.
Have you been on it before?
minutes.
Rent.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing there.
Have you been on it?
Yeah, I went up there once.
Space Needle?
Yeah.
But did you eat at the restaurant that spins like
you-
No,
Richard
it was
Corsa Coffee
no,
House?
it was under.
So
It
instead
was
of
under construction.
so
it
instead of the
wasn't open.
Space Needle, do you think they'd ever rename it the Rusty Nail?
Oh, I fucking hope so. Oh my god, that would be
Post-apocalyptical era.
amazing. Fremont, you have one job.
Yeah, that's it. That's
One
all you need to
job.
do.
Paint that bastard red. All right, let's get into our series, Marcus. This is your thing.
All
Oh, yeah,
right.
this
We
topic.
pick a series of
Gross.
beers every show.
So last month I said I was gonna jam everything Belgian into one show, right? And I was never gonna make you taste Belgian beer again.
Well,
as part
fuck
of
you.
this. Well, you guys should have known better.
Oh, don't you fucking ruin this for me, man.
Well, it looks like he'll just have to stick with the
I
Descartes
forgot to
then.
bring a Belgian pale ale, so I'm gonna do that. No. So what I'm doing today is I'm gonna call it just like mixed fermentation beer,
Okay, well, you wrote here wild beer.
wild beer. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's there's no like specific guideline for that because I'm encompassing both European and American style sours. So in that case, there's like Belgian lambic or goose. There's beer that like Descartes makes, which is just wild fermentation, and it can be either just just the beer itself represented, or it could be made with different barrels or different fruits or all that kind of stuff. And so what I was going to do was open up first a Belgian beer.
I hate you.
But you said you like this style. This is Dre Fontaine's Oud Goose.
Okay.
A Belgian style.
I've never had a
Goose.
Drie Beer.
Never.
Okay,
so this
Really?
is a very classic, very well renowned. If you don't like this beer, you don't like Goose. You don't like Belgian Goose.
What's the difference between a Goose and a Goes?
A lot.
A lot.
Why do they sound so similar?
Because those
Different
damn
languages.
Belgians and those damn Germans.
A Goes is a wheat beer that's been soured with typically just lactobacillus. So it's like just a straight sour beer with like coriander and salt. A Goose.
Sour like a...
like Chobani.
With the Greek yogurt.
Like Anchor.
Probiotics
I was
in
going to
your
say
tummy.
Cascade, but sure. Cascade is lactobacillus heavy.
Yeah. And it's purposefully soured with they put the bacteria in there to make it sour.
All right.
A goose is actually a variant of a lambic. So a lambic is just a beer that's been brewed in Belgium, and then it's been naturally fermented, inoculated with yeast and bacteria from the air, just like De Garde does, but they do it in Belgium. So it's a lambic. In this case, a goose is a blend of 1, 2, and 3-year-old lambics, and that's what defines a goose.
And they've been aged in wood, typically, right?
And they're aged in wood
specifically.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Always wood.
Always aged in wood.
Okay, but a goose.
And they've been doing this for hundreds of years at this brewery.
So every goose is a wild, but not every wild is a goose.
Correct.
Okay.
In fact, very few wilds are a goose at this point.
All right.
Yeah,
Even
very,
from
very
Belgium,
few.
there's a goose is a specific beer type.
All right.
So it's like a
What's
West Coast IPA.
the lambic beer that's like you can see it at a lot of grocery stores?
Lindemans. Yeah.
So what is that like the Budweiser of lambics?
It's more like the...
Kinda.
It's more like the fruit by the foot of lambics.
Fruit by the foot.
It really is like they take a beer like this and then like add in like 50% like I don't know if it's fruit juice or like just or the way that they let it ferment, but it is very fruit heavy and very very sweet. And my first introduction to Lindemans in Appalachia, Pennsylvania, it was split 50-50 with a Miller Lite. Or like Bud Light, I think.
What? To cut it down?
To cut
was
down
that
the
called?
sweetness.
Oh, what did they call that?
Michelada.
It was just I think it was this one specific bartender's way of trying to sell this beer that was fancy and no one bought.
They were trying to get rid of the bottles.
No, it was on tap.
Oh, they had Lindemans on tap?
Yeah, it was on tap.
Jeez, I've never seen that before.
Appalachia, man.
You can see some crazy shit over there.
So this was
Raccoons
originally
drinking
bottled
it?
in 2016. So I've had it for 8 years.
Wow.
This smells like
selling.
something I
Awesome.
will hate.
It smells
Just
so
telling
good.
you now.
Maybe it smells amazing.
It
to
smells
me.
like a musty basement, which
So
is
this
what it should
smells
smell
like goose to me. This is classic Belgian goose. It's not gonna have Belgian. It's not gonna have the Belgian yeast flavors. It's going to be. Well, you tell me what you
Still
did.
got the smells.
But they're better smells. It smells like a spider.
It's tolerable. I wouldn't rank this because I wouldn't know how to rank this properly. I'd insult it.
That's delicious. I love that. Do you think it's so? It's quite.
This is more drinkable than the other stuff.
Yeah.
Smells like a spider's home.
So it's
Like,
not
just go
super
cozy in
sour.
there.
No.
Do you think it's sour? Like super sour?
No.
It's pretty mild
Yeah.
as far as sour goes.
It's got a little funk.
It's pretty funky.
Little funk.
I think it's quite funky.
Quite funky. Okay.
Kind of like cheesy, footy, like funky. Yeah.
toenail jam.
Fruity.
Yeah. It's quite fruity.
It's more fruity than funky. To
But
me.
it's also fruity. Yeah, I agree.
That was a Marky Mark song. More fruity than funky.
What kind of fruits are you getting?
I don't know. Peach?
Yeah.
Like stone fruit?
I'm getting a little bit of
that's a good
yeah.
one.
I'm getting a little bit of like spiced apple.
I can see that.
Not like
Yeah.
and not like the off flavor in beer that's like appley. I mean like from the yeast.
I'm getting a little car exhaust.
From a bus or
Yeah.
from a
A Volkswagen.
Volkswagen? Not a Belgian car?
No, German.
Oh,
Going
that's
German
weird.
on
So
this
it's a
one.
goes.
Yeah.
You're saying.
I told you. I told you.
But yeah, musty. It's musty too. And that's such a good thing with this beer.
Is that because it's old or is it supposed to be like that?
It's supposed to be like
It's
that.
supposed to be.
It's not old must. It's new must.
It's a characteristic of a brewery that has been around for hundreds of years.
Sure. Knows
and
what
like
the fuck they're doing.
inoculates and gets the funk
Yeah.
in there and all that. Yeah.
They know what they're doing. I know this is a very popular, famous brewery for
Well-known
this
for this style.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I don't want to insult them, because I don't have the palate for it. So
No, it's fine. I mean,
They have
everyone's
snipers. Yeah, be careful.
pew pew
yeah, Belgian snipers.
right through the window.
Yeah, they're drunk on goose, so
Yeah.
they won't hit you. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
They might
maybe
hit-
they'll nick you.
They might hit a guitar and then I'll have to kill them.
Yeah, though that'd be even worse, right, than death.
Yeah.
So yeah.
An ending worse than death.
So let's talk about. So we've talked about this beer a bit. Let's talk about, what do you like in wild ales? Like when you see a wild ale on the board at a tap room or whatever, what would draw you towards it, or what would push you away from it? Like, what do you guys?
Brewery.
The brewery.
Who brewed it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Why is that?
Because where you're located has a lot to do with it. And if you aren't typically doing this style, then if you're just like, or like, oops, we left this amber open to the air too long, let's just make it a wild ale.
So in this case, for this definition, both naturally inoculated and target inoculation is okay. Like
really?
you built up your own mixed culture
Okay.
and put it in a beer. So like something like Rare Barrel would be fine in this as well. It doesn't have to be just naturally inoculated.
Okay.
Although the only beers I brought today are from natural inoculation. But anyways, go ahead.
Great band name.
Natural inoculation.
Yep.
Yeah.
They play funk.
Yes.
Get it? They play funk.
They play funk.
No, that sounds like death metal to me. Inoculation.
Natural inoculation sounds like a band that doesn't believe in birth control.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay, Mr. McConnell.
Okay. It took me a second there. I see what you're doing.
All right.
Yeah. That's so bad.
That's pretty bad. I agree. Sorry. Apologies. Don't worry.
What do I like
Sean
in
will
the
cut that
style?
out.
But who
it's
are you
the-
apologizing to?
I don't know.
The
Mostly for the bad joke. That's all.
the mustiness I like.
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you feel like you can get that in an American beer?
It's hard. Not typically.
Yeah.
Maybe some DeGards and that's about it.
Yeah.
And not even most of them.
That's why I made you wait on that beer that you're going to open, because I feel like if anyone would have it, it would be that one.
If there is, yeah, good point.
Good point.
Mustiness. I feel like each sip is different. I think
You
that's
get something
that's
else
what
out of it?
Yeah, that's what I like about it too.
Kind of like a barley
Complexity.
stout is you let it warm up, the flavors
Yeah, exactly.
change.
There's
Yeah.
that, but I feel like this, like sip to sip, like the first sip I had, it was floral and fruity, and then the next sip I had, and it was just like almost like a dank, musty basement.
That's a really good flavor.
It is.
that I want in my mouth.
It is.
As somebody who lived in a house with a dank, musty
spider's
basement.
house.
There's, I feel like
Who wouldn't want to live in a spider's house? So cozy.
Well, what's weird is like I feel like most of the flavor descriptors that describe a good wild beer are really terrible.
Yes.
Like it sounds awful, like cheesy, footy, like
Right.
You guys,
that's
dank,
yes.
This takes
basement.
me back. This
No,
takes me
that's
back
right.
to the 80s.
some people say like horse blanket,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like this is not stuff we strive to
this
smell.
takes me back to when
but
I was a
in
kid,
a good way, which is
where my dad would go to the German deli and buy 5 of the smelliest cheeses he could find.
Yeah.
Because we'd have German deli night for dinner. Get a whole bunch of different meats and cheeses and breads and mustards. And that would be our dinner for the night. And he'd get these cheeses. He'd open up out of the wrapper. My mom and I would just leave the goddamn room.
Yeah.
But he loved them, and that's what this reminds me.
Would you love
of.
them now?
Probably.
Just puts Limburger to shame.
Do you think
Yeah.
do you think
He used to
this
put Limburger on his God, who was it? His brother-in-law on his radiator in his old car.
what?
Limburger cheese. So
Oh,
the
as
car-
a joke?
Yeah, in the car we driving
Okay.
like, what's that goddamn smell?
Yeah. Do you guys think that this would go extremely well then with a charcuterie?
Charcuterie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It would,
Sure.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Some crusty bread.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that being real nice.
So what's it
Grainy
evolved
mustard.
into now? Like a swollen corpse?
It's getting there,
is that
Sean.
where we're at
It's getting there. It's not there yet. A bloated, swollen corpse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely some toes in there. Yeah.
If I would have been on the Google sheet like 10 minutes later after I saw that you were poking around there when I put mine on. I would have had more to. Damn it.
To add to it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Sean, let's actually open another one. I don't
Belgian?
know.
Or do you want to do the DeGard?
Well, let's do an American version.
Okay.
Can we do a wild IPA?
Do you really want that?
No. No.
Enjoy after.
Oh God.
So
Remember
we have
that?
So Jim brought actually an American style version of this beer.
But
It's
see, this
similar
is
from
the guard. I'm gonna like this.
Maybe. This
I've
is not
had
fruited.
I know, but I've never had a guard beer that I did not like.
I think you've actually had this beer before.
What is this one?
This is the anniversary, but it's from 2018.
So what year is that?
2018. Did I stutter?
No, but explain it more. Any more detail?
2018.
Hey, now you're getting inappropriate.
So they do kind of change up the recipe from year to year, I believe.
They do. It's different every year.
Yeah, and this
Once they did the 5-year.
See? I did a guard anniversary 2018. It's not in here.
Okay.
So what's it called?
The anniversary.
The anniversary, and it's bottled on 8/18.
Yeah.
Spontaneous wild ale aged in oak barrels, blended from
It's
5 years.
possible you didn't have it.
I'm just looking.
So this is from 5 years, not 3 years.
Right.
3-year blend.
So
Five
it's
years.
bottled in
I think
18,
did they go to a 6-year or did they stop at 5?
but it's not their
don't know.
18th anniversary. It was just bottled in 18. So what anniversary year was this?
2018.
for their 6th.
6th. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes okay.
I still got goose in here.
Well, I'll try it.
Cherishing it.
There's a little more in here.
Here,
That's
here
where
it
the
is.
good stuff is.
I have not had this.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is also unfruited. So I brought a fruited version too.
But so when you say unfruited, remember when DeGard first started and they had the Boo, and then they
Yeah.
had all the Boo series, and you could get the base beer Boo by itself,
And then a bunch of fruited
all
ones.
the variants
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. So is that when you say this is unfruited, is that like that?
This is more like this.
Okay, so this is gonna be closer to the goose.
Yeah.
A boo
To the dray.
is closer to a goza.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's
That's
it's a
technically the
Berliner
style
Weiss,
it
which
was,
is
yeah.
very similar.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Berliner, not goza.
I get that smell.
It's it's
No, but
it should be similar.
I've never had
So,
a DeGard beer that I said I would not drink.
This is a DeGard beer that is blended to be kind of like a goose. That is the point of it.
There's DeGard has this way of making beer styles I normally don't likable, and that's great.
What do you think of this one? This is very different.
I would drink this.
Actually,
I
what's
like
different?
this. Huh?
What's the main difference that you like more?
It's.
I agree. It's actually quite different.
not
There's
as
a pungentness.
It's
in the
not as
nose.
musty.
No, it's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
Damn it.
Doesn't smell like a basement.
it doesn't. It doesn't smell like a bloated corpse.
Yeah. No. I'm getting no death in this.
It's maltier.
Maltier, but more tart.
Definitely more tart.
Yeah, it's good.
This
But
also probably had a couple years where it wasn't in the best conditions as well too. So,
I can't fathom that. How's that
but
possible?
the
with you?
last 3.
It's not flat like the broken truck you brought
God,
last
yeah.
time.
Rip.
This is I like. So this is much more like brighter,
Yes.
lemony.
Mm-hmm.
It is tartar, but it's not still like
It's not
crazy
sour.
tart.
Yeah, it's not sour.
but it's more tart, more sharp. Than
Sharp is a good word for it. Yeah.
I gave this a 4.
You give this a 4?
And I don't like the style, but yeah. I mean, this is
Because this is not a fruited sour, but it's still pretty good. You think it's more malty? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Or at least just more malt flavor. I feel like I'm getting. But maybe it's just generally there's a little bit more.
I see what you're saying.
You gotta get on that mic, Beef. You're killing me.
There's a little more hop presence.
It's just at it's at its peak.
There's like a tiny bit more hop presence to me. There's a little more stone fruit in this too for me.
Definitely. Yeah.
Actually, quite a bit more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big difference for me is like musty and funk. It's not there
Yeah.
like it is in the goose.
Yeah, and it's sharper. That's the one.
It's
thing,
sharper,
like, there's-
sharper acidity.
Yeah.
Brighter, sharper. Yeah. But it's very good.
But
But it's just like you can't replicate Belgian.
yeah, I don't know what it is, but
Like,
you just
you
can't.
can't
You
do
just
it.
can't do it. Yeah, side by side, it shows.
It's so different.
It's drastic.
Yeah, it's not even close. Like I thought that might be kind of close. Like there's not a whole lot that's similar between the two. I think.
Yeah. Knowing if I walked into a beer store and I had to buy a beer and there was that and the Fontaine, I'd get that. I'd
You get the DeGard.
Yeah. That's more drinkable for me.
So let me ask. So okay. So to wrap this up, what do you guys think? Like when you see a wild beer, when you're looking for like a wild beer.
Never done that.
Yes, you have.
When have I ever gone looking for a wild beer?
You've gone to DeGard, bought beers there.
I've gone. But I didn't go there to buy beers to take home, per se.
You would never buy a wild beer for yourself. Okay, how about for
I'd,
Carrie?
I'd have to taste it first.
How about for Carrie?
She'd have to taste it first.
Really? You wouldn't see a wild beer and just buy it for her?
It would probably have to be fruited before we'd take it home.
Yeah. So you like wild beer that has fruit in it?
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is drinkable, and I would drink it there.
But you don't want to buy it.
But I wouldn't buy a bottle of it to take home.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would get the goose.
Would you?
Oh yeah, 10 out of 10.
I get both, but yeah.
Damn it! I didn't know that was an option.
You didn't tell us, Marcus. You said only one.
Didn't set up the rules.
No, I just
Set me up to
asked,
fail.
what are you looking for when you go and buy wild
Okay.
beer? What do you want? What are you looking for? Like, what kind of characteristics do you like about it? What makes beer good? That's the series.
Satan.
I like the mustiness, the complexity, and the floralness.
Floralness. Okay.
Floral, not the fruit, but the floral.
So you don't actually seek out fruited sours as much.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for a sour, yeah.
Mhm.
I should say a long-term sour.
Yeah. I think both of these beers have complexity, but they're different.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The anniversary's growing on me, but I'm still taking the goose over it.
I'll take the goose over the anniversary as well. I like the funkiness. I just like that musty. I love the smell of dead corpses. What can I say?
Well, the audience says you're wrong.
Oh shit!
Both of you.
But I like both of them quite a lot. Again, we're like talking about like a 5.0 beer versus 4.5.
Right.
Like that's the difference right now.
We always pick nits on the show.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about two very rare beers, but they're very well in our area. They're pretty rare, but they're I mean, it's a small difference. Yeah, high quality from respected breweries. I'm kind of with you. Like it depends on the situation. Like I really do like fruited sours. I think they can really work well. I think we've gotten to an age where a lot of breweries just make overly fruited sours, and it's too much. And I think that was fun for like a moment in time, but now it's like, okay, pull it back. I still want the beer characteristics. I want the aging characteristics.
Right.
And the fruit adds to it. That's cool, but I don't want it to be just all about the fruit. So
yeah, that's what the boo was for.
Correct.
The boo
that's why DeGard doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
They have aged stock that they feel is better representative of what they want to do, which is what Dre does, right? They don't have any boo type beers, at least as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
maybe they do.
I don't think they do any young beer.
Yeah.
Everything's aged and blended.
So,
do we have any more examples of wild?
We do. Do you want another one, or do you want to have a fruited version?
Well, we can do that, or we can hold that for after.
Well, we're not drinking all these anyways on the show, so
right. Or we can just crack open another Canadian beer.
Well, let's go Canadian.
All right.
We don't need to do... We've talked enough about this.
Okay. You didn't pick it, sir.
Wait, do we have more stuff to talk about?
Or we just want a cold IPA, or do you want a West Coast IPA?
I
want a warm East Coast IPA.
You're not getting it, sir.
Son of a bitch.
I want a cuvee.
I want a warm Canadian IPA.
Wait, Canada. I got something else for you.
What is
Canada?
What is a West?
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada. Yep, exactly.
With all
Where
their
is this?
ugly bleedy eyes and
Where is this from again?
flapping heads so full of lies.
Cabin Brewing out of Alberta.
But they're not on the West Coast.
Alberta.
It's kind of Midwest.
No,
it's
it's
above,
like
above
Rockies.
Montana.
How can they do a
Yeah.
West Coast IPA?
We're gonna do a full Fort George here.
What are we doing for Fort
We're
George?
going full Fort George.
Full Fort.
This is the Wojak Hopman.
Okay.
It's a collab, I believe. If I remember, I gotta get my
Wojak
glasses.
the Hopman.
Hang on.
Wojak the Hopman.
I gotta read the can because I believe this is a collab. This is an India Pale Ale with Mega Motweka, Rewaka,
Yes.
New Zealand,
These are my favorite hops, by the way.
Cascade.
everybody.
Yeah, as a callback.
Comet, and Chinook.
As I've stated many times.
Oh, a collab with Gold Dot.
That's right. I was like, I know it. I couldn't.
What?
Yeah.
Who needs it? Who
You mean
wants
with
it?
Peter Allen?
Yeah. This is good. The way I have described this beer to other people, I think I told you
Oh
guys
my
something.
God! It is Wojak.
Yeah.
Wojak the Hopman.
Yep. I described this to you guys on our text thread
Oh my God!
as a fancy vortex.
That should. Win
I
a Crushy.
guarantee you that, well,
Just on
actually, 3 of
name.
these hops are probably in Vortex. But Motueka and Rewaka are not in Vortex.
That's the fancy part, sir.
Fucking Wojak the Horseman.
I didn't know what you meant by fancy Vortex. Like, I don't even know what that means.
This
fancy
just reminds me of
Vortex.
Vortex, but a little better.
It's certainly not as it's filtered because that is not a
And it's
that is
lighter.
way clearer than.
It's a
Lighter,
West
so-
Coast. Yeah, it's a West Coast IPA. Yeah, it's definitely a play on the BoJack Horseman.
And the Wojak meme.
What's BoJack?
If you
I'm
look-
old. I don't know what that is.
If you looked it up,
What are memes,
you
beef?
would know what it is. Do you remember Rage comics?
They're memes.
What?
Do you remember Rage comics?
Was that part of Bazooka Gum?
Nope.
Anyways, it's pretty good.
Listener, write the show if you remember
Sorry,
Rage
I don't
comics.
know.
At portlandbeerclub@gmail.com.
It's
So
a-
Wait, are we
If
talking
I-
about Lewis
Episode
Black?
74
He's a
in
Rage
weeks.
comic, right?
I just thought maybe, hey,
Or is that David Tell?
that episode 73 is still waiting to be listened to by you.
You know those black
grab
and
your favorite
white,
bottle of
like line drawn, hand drawn
fresh hot
memes?
Smells like Vortex.
and
There's-
Like our parents used to bring home from
beer.
work off the photocopier before the fax machines.
No. That those kids that you were watching over were making.
Oh no,
You're
I don't know what this is.
just
Like prison tattoos.
You just gotta Google Wojak, and if you look it up, you would know the face. I
Okay.
feel.
This is good. I like this.
It's this beer in particular is better on the fifth sip.
Does the mustiness come out then?
The mustiness.
When does the Belgian goose
Yeah,
characteristics come
yeah.
out?
When's the goose come out?
I like it. It's
never
good.
come.
It's interesting. I'm surprised that they would launch this when they launched Three-Way. Like, why would you?
Wojak.
Yeah.
Okay, I just typed it in.
Yeah,
Why
it
would you
kinda
launch-
Looks like Wojak.
But you know what BoJack Horseman
Yes,
is?
I know
okay,
BoJack,
Okay,
yeah.
just want to make sure.
Yeah. That's why I feel like it was the perfect combo of them.
Why would you launch this beer when you just launched Three-Way West Coast?
I
though?
know.
Like, that's
don't-
weird.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
Well, where was it? Yeah, okay, Brewed in Astoria.
Yep.
It's good. I like it a lot, but
Mhm.
it's not as good as Three-Way.
No, not at all.
But it's good.
No.
Ryan
Definitely-
Ryan Boobins, you deserve a crushie for this can.
Beef likes the can.
Have you thought about doing work with breweries in Canada by any chance?
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, they could.
They don't bottle up there. Otherwise, that's a can.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not called bottle duh.
What is happening right now?
Canada, bottle duh.
Yeah, and this is a can,
And that's a can.
and that's a can.
From
Like,
Canada.
I still don't get it.
yeah, I'm missing
I've lost
too.
it. I don't get it.
No habla español, sorry.
I feel like I see what
Lo
he was trying
siento.
to do, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, I think.
It was all cans. It was cans all the way down
Well,
until you get to Michigan. Then it's all bottles.
yeah, this
Founders.
is true.
Fair point.
God, you're going to get a reward for no claps tonight from the missus when we get downstairs. Oh, you fucking ruined it.
I had to. Thanks a lot, Jim. Did she hear that?
That crossed my mind about 45 minutes ago.
You've
of,
on your
of,
best
of like
behavior.
not trying to, but just like, oh yeah, that's right. A clap should come here. Like
That
it's
I-
gonna be really loud with the window closed and the door closed.
That I was going to screw you later on by doing that.
Yeah,
since
probably.
you hadn't.
Yeah,
Wait, you guys are doing what later?
it just
Oh.
happened.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like it slipped in. Are we done?
Like a White Snake
Are
song.
we done?
Slide it down, right to the top. We are done with the show, episode 107. The Portland Beer Club podcast. We had Fartcus, we had Beef, we had Shitz. Nooner swears he'll be here in July. You know, he's become our part-time.
The listener
host.
should hold him to that.
Listener, you need to write Chad at
Chad@prison.com. Oh,
Yeah.
is that? We didn't want to tell people why he wasn't on the show anymore. Shit.
I don't know. These days, I think if you're in prison, you could still do a podcast somehow.
I know you can because they still listen to one.
You were in prison?
No, I said he still listened to one.
In prison.
A prison podcast. Ear Jack Horseman? This is called something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about
I
right.
don't know.
Named a beer after that podcast.
Cage Jack Inman.
Yeah.
What else do we have to talk about, guys? Anything? Anybody got any last words? Any last thoughts? That's another episode of the Portland Beer Club podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Untapped, and check out our website at www.portlandbeerclubpodcast.com.